some of humanity's greatest inventions were not planned. They were more,
Oops.
like in 1945, an engineer is testing a radar device when,
Oh, geez, my chocolate bar just melted in my pants.
not because it's hot, not because it's summer, but because science just blasted it with invisible space rays. But instead of running away screaming, he said something like,
Hey, what if I could make it do that on purpose?
and soon the microwave was born, which is how a lot of everyday things happen. Accidents, mishaps, happy little what-ifs. And if you have somehow stumbled onto this podcast by accident, hey, no worries. You're in exactly the right place. Because this is where we look at life's strange coincidences, historical flukes, and bizarre little quirks that you never saw coming. So throw some leftovers in the microwave, and welcome to the podcast that answers some of the questions you've always wondered about.
It's the Always Wondered podcast.
Hi, I'm Rick Peterson. Thanks for joining us. Every year on March 17th, the world turns green. Rivers turn green, beer turns green, people turn green after drinking one too many of those green beers.
Oh, excuse me.
Yep, it's St. Patrick's Day. And there are lots of myths surrounding St. Patrick's Day. But have you always wondered how many of those are actually true? For instance, we all learned that St. Patrick drove the snakes out of Ireland. But here's the deal. Since the Ice Age, Ireland did not have snakes.
Not even a garter snake that took a wrong turn.
The snakes were most likely a metaphor for pagan beliefs. So in that sense, St. Patrick did indeed do the job.
But it was a lot less slimy.
And while St. Patrick is the most famous Irishman of all, he really wasn't Irish.
Yeah, sorry. It's a bit embarrassing, but I was actually born in Britain.
Which kind of makes this the historical equivalent of finding out your hometown hero secretly roots for the rival team. And it turns out that green wasn't always the color associated with St. Paddy's Day. In fact, the first Irish flag and the robes worn by St. Patrick were actually blue. And not just any blue, but a specific shade of blue.
It was officially known as St. Patrick Blue.
Yeah, green didn't go viral until later. And we can't forget about leprechauns. We know them as fun-loving little mascots.
Top of the morning to ya!
But way back when, they were cranky, greedy, and nasty toward humans.
Don't touch me gold. I bite.
However, somewhere along the way, leprechauns got a serious PR upgrade and became breakfast cereal icons.
They're magically delicious.
And we all know St. Patrick's Day is the biggest party day this side of New Year's Eve. But originally, it was a quiet, religious day of feast. In fact, pubs in Ireland were often closed in observance.
Wait, what?
But leave it to America, who looked at this solemn holy day and said,
Yeah, we can fix this.
So, no snakes, no Irish lineage, no color green, no cute leprechauns, just a quiet day built on stories that got told and retold and then later handed a green beer. And honestly, we wouldn't have it any other way.
It's the Always Wondered podcast.
Okay, if you think kids' toys today are dangerous because they connect to Wi-Fi, well, buckle up, because once upon a time it was even worse. So have you always wondered, what was the weirdest toy ever marketed to children? Introducing the Gilbert U-238 Atomic Energy Lab.
You know what Timmy needs? Radioactive uranium.
Yeah, this was a real toy, sold in the 1950s by the A.C. Gilbert Company, the same folks who made erector sets.
Hey kids, if you thought building bridges was fun, nothing compares to splitting the atom.
The Atomic Energy Lab came with a cloud chamber and scope to view radioactive particles, a Geiger counter, and, we can't stress this enough, actual radioactive uranium ore.
Careful, son. Don't spill any nuclear material on the carpet. Your mother just vacuumed.
The instruction manual was over 60 pages long, teaching kids how to track radiation, observe atomic decay, and a polite reminder to not put things in your mouth.
Hey, look, Mom! My new toy is glowing!
That's nice, dear. Let me know if you grow a third arm.
Now, to be fair, this was the atomic age. Nuclear power was new, exciting, and America was obsessed. Fallout shelters were chic, duck and cover drills were normal, and radiation was basically a marketing tool.
Everything goes better with radiation.
They put radium in toothpaste,
What the?
uranium in glassware.
Huh?
So sure, why not a junior scientist nuclear kit?
Oh boy!
But as it turns out, the toy was a commercial failure. Not because of safety concerns. No, it was because parents thought it cost too much.
Look, radiation is fine, but $50 for a toy is where I draw the line.
So the Gilbert U-238 Atomic Energy Lab quietly disappeared, which I guess is better than going out with a bang. But it is a perfect snapshot of a time when optimism beat common sense and children's toys went completely off the rails. And thankfully today, kids are much safer, playing with tiny screens that just slowly melt their brains instead.
The Always Wondered podcast.
You've heard it in classrooms, libraries, movie theaters. So have you always wondered why we say shh when we want quiet? I mean, how did shh become our verbal mute button? Shh is not a word, it's an instinct. It's a long hissing noise that forces the speaker to lower their own volume when making it. Just try yelling shh, you can't do it. Shh, your mouth literally will not let you. So when someone says shh, their body is physically modeling the behavior they want from you.
Scientifically speaking, it's peer pressure for your vocal cords.
And it goes way back. Ancient humans used it for a much scarier reason. Because whether it was predators, enemies, or giant things with teeth, if someone made a noise, everyone died. So we didn't yell,
Hey, Steve, shut your pie hole.
Instead, we went, shh. It was fast, universal, and didn't require forming a sentence when about to be eaten. Anthropologists believe it emerged naturally because the sound itself travels just enough to be heard, but not enough to attract danger. Now, fast forward to today, and it has become weaponized. We use it to end conversation, cause lifelong embarrassment, or make a full-grown adult feel like they've broken a sacred vow. Oh, and here's the kicker. You don't even have to know English to understand shh. Babies respond to it. Animals respond to it. And adults freeze like they've been caught stealing snacks at midnight.
Don't judge me.
So why do we say shh? Because it's ancient, it's efficient, and impossible to shout. Which means every time you say shh, you're not being rude. You're just honoring thousands of years of humans desperately trying to avoid being lunch.
The Always Wondered podcast.
Well, that puts the wraps on another episode of Always Wondered. New episodes arrive each and every Friday. Hey, if you haven't done so yet, we'd love for you to hit subscribe. And you can always find some of our weird little videos up on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. We are everywhere. Kind of like crumbs in your couch after binge-watching your favorite show.
Oh, let me just clean that up.
Thanks.
My pleasure.
All right. As always, we leave you with one to ponder. Have you always wondered, why do we wash up but scrub down? Until next time, stay curious and keep wondering. I'm Rick Peterson. Thanks for listening.
The Always Wondered podcast.
If you like what you hear, please subscribe, leave a 5-star rating, and a review. Listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Feel free to offer suggestions for future topics or simply reach out to alwayswonderedpodcast@gmail.com.